On a crisp autumn morning, October 20th, 2004, Jack Thompson maneuvered his tow truck down a rugged ravine off Interstate 40, about 25 miles west of Albuquerque, New Mexico. The call had come from a passing motorist who noticed a glint of metal in the Sandia wash below the highway. Jack, a 15-year veteran of Sandia Star Towing, was no stranger to the desert's secrets. Vehicles lost to flash floods or abandoned after reckless drives were common. "Probably another wreck from the summer rains," he muttered, setting up his winch. As he cleared away sand and debris, Jack uncovered a rusted vehicle frame, its paint long eroded by the harsh desert elements. The more he dug, the clearer it became. This wasn't a recent crash. The metal was corroded, and a faded light bar atop the vehicle hinted at its past. It was an old police cruiser, half buried in the wash. Jack paused, heart pounding, and called 911. "This is Jack Thompson with Sandia Star Towing. I'm off I-40, near mile marker 132, in the Sandia, Washington. Found what looks like an old cop car. Been here a long time." Within an hour, Bernalillo County Sheriff's deputies arrived. Deputy Maria Gonzalez took Jack's statement as he described the find. "How long's it been down there?" she asked, peering at the wreckage. "Decades maybe," Jack replied. "Plates are too rusted to read." Gonzalez called for a crime scene unit and additional officers. By noon, they confirmed it was a 1983 Dodge Diplomat, marked with faint New Mexico State Police insignia. Dr. Elena Ruiz, the county medical examiner, arrived as the team pried open the driver's door. Inside were skeletal remains, still clad in the tattered remnants of a state police uniform. A corroded name tag read Martinez. "Run missing persons from the 80s, Gonzalez instructed her partner. "State Police, name Martinez." The search revealed that Officer Juan Martinez, badge number 312, vanished on September 8, 1985, during a routine patrol on this stretch of I-40. He was 34, with a wife and a 7-year-old son. The original investigation, led by then-Sheriff David Callahan, concluded Martinez had likely deserted, possibly tied to rumors of misappropriated funds from the state police Widows and Orphans Fund. But the scene told a different story. Dr. Ruiz examined the remains. "Blunt force trauma to the skull," she said, pointing to multiple fractures. "These aren't from a crash. Someone beat him to death, likely with a heavy object, maybe a crowbar." Deputy Gonzalez frowned. This was no accident. The discovery rocked the New Mexico State Police. Juan Martinez hadn't fled with stolen money. He'd been murdered, his body hidden in the Sandia wash for 19 years. That evening, Deputy Gonzalez called Juan's sister, Carla Martinez, in Santa Fe. Carla, now 52, had spent nearly 2 decades believing her brother was a thief who abandoned his family. "Ms. Martinez, we found Juan's remains today," Gonzalez said. "Evidence suggests he was murdered." Carla's voice trembled. "Murdered? Where?" "In his patrol car, off I-40 in the Sandia wash, where he disappeared. We're reopening this as a homicide investigation." Carla called her nephew Miguel, Juan's son, now 26 and a mechanic in Albuquerque. "Miguel, they found your father. He didn't run away. Someone killed him." Miguel, who had grown up with only vague memories of his father, was stunned. "Are you sure?" The medical examiner confirmed it. "They're investigating." The next day, Carla drove to Albuquerque to meet Detective Lisa Navarro, the lead investigator on the reopened case. Navarro laid out files from the 1985 investigation. "The original conclusion that your brother stole money and fled as problems," she told Carla. "The missing funds, $35,000 from the Widows and Orphans Fund, disappeared over 8 months, but one only had access to those accounts for 3 weeks during a temporary desk assignment after a shoulder injury." Carla studied the timeline. "So he couldn't have taken it all." "Exactly," Navarro said. "Someone else was stealing, and when Juan got too close, he became a target." Crime scene photos showed the patrol car had been deliberately pushed into the wash, with damage suggesting a high-speed impact. A hidden tape recorder found under the driver's seat, though its tape was destroyed by time, indicated Juan was secretly recording something when he died. "He was gathering evidence," Navarro said, "likely against whoever was stealing." Carla and Navarro visited retired Captain Edward Salazar, Juan's supervisor in 1985, now 70 and living in Las Cruces. Salazar, frail from heart issues, recalled Juan as a dedicated officer. When the money went missing, Sheriff Callahan pointed to Juan because he'd accessed the accounts. Bank records showed deposits in Texas under Juan's name, and a storage unit in his name held some of the cash. Carla's eyes narrowed. No one verified this independently? Salazar shook his head. Callahan was sheriff. We trusted his investigation. Navarro pressed further. Did Juan ever mention suspecting fraud? Salazar nodded slowly. A week before he vanished, he asked about reporting financial misconduct. Said he needed more proof before accusing anyone high up. Carla felt a chill. And you told Callahan? Yes. He said Juan was covering his own tracks. The investigation turned to David Callahan, now 76, and living in a gated community in Rio Rancho. Navarro and Carla confronted him at his home, filled with law enforcement memorabilia. Sheriff Callahan, we found Juan Martinez's body, Navarro said. He was murdered, beaten to death. Callahan's face remained impassive. The evidence in 85 showed he stole money and ran. Navarro showed him photos of the wreck. The car was pushed into the wash. One was investigating the thefts, not committing them. Callahan's tone hardened. You're implying I mishandled the case? I turned all evidence over to the DA. He ended the meeting abruptly. The next day, Navarro got a call from the crime lab. Partial fingerprints on the tape recorder matched Deputy Richard Ortiz, Callahan's second-in-command in 1985, who died in a 1988 boating accident. Financial records showed Ortiz bought a ranch in Texas months after Juan's death, paying cash. Callahan and Ortiz were in on it, Navarro told Carla. They silenced Juan to protect their scheme. Carla found a letter Juan wrote to Miguel, dated September 6, 1985, hidden in her sister-in-law's old belongings. It detailed Juan's discovery of thefts by Callahan, Ortiz, and Susan Delgado, the fund's accountant. Juan had recorded their confessions and hidden the tapes in a safety deposit box at First Community Bank in Albuquerque. Carla and Navarro retrieved 3 tapes, which captured Callahan and Ortiz admitting to stealing $35,000 and Delgado explaining how she laundered it through shell companies. Navarro confronted Delgado, now 65 and running a consulting firm in Santa Fe. Faced with the tapes, Delgado confessed. Callahan planned it. Ortiz killed Juan with a crowbar. I wasn't there, but I knew they'd silence him. She admitted to laundering over $1.8 million from police funds across the Southwest over 19 years, using Juan's death as cover to expand her operation. The investigation uncovered a 4th conspirator, Linda Harper, a sheriff's department clerk in 1985, who monitored Juan's radio communications and tipped off Callahan about his investigation. Harper, now 60, had received $300,000 in payments over the years. When confronted, she admitted to alerting Callahan about Juan's meeting at mile marker 132, knowing it was a setup. By 2005, the case had grown into the largest police corruption scandal in New Mexico history. Callahan, deceased from a heart attack in 2004, escaped prosecution. Ortiz was dead, but Delgado and Harper were sentenced to 20 and 12 years, respectively, for conspiracy, theft, and racketeering. Over $3.5 million was recovered for 672 victim families. The Juan Martinez Memorial Fund, established by Carla and Miguel, aided police families, ensuring Juan's legacy of integrity endured. On September 8, 2010, a memorial marker was dedicated at mile marker 132 on I-40, honoring Juan Martinez, whose courage exposed a sprawling criminal network. His sacrifice, uncovered by a tow driver's chance discovery, brought justice to hundreds and reformed police financial oversight across the region.